Snipers, you have to see what's happening to the Bitcoin price this Friday. This is an emergency update as we're starting to see price action above 38,000 US dollars. And so I wanted to get this update out to you guys. And a lot of people are kind of half-half on these quick updates on the go. Some people are complaining about the different backgrounds, the noise. And so I really want to hear you guys' opinion. Do you guys like this type of content? If so, put it in the comments below, smash the like button, of course, if you guys do support this content. But today's gonna be an exclusive Bitcoin analysis because notice how right now we are testing this macro structural resistance that dates back to 3 monthly candles. And you can see on the weekly chart, this has been the major resistance that has held Bitcoin down. And it looks like right now we are trying to come and test this resistance level. And we know, for those that tuned into our video previously, that traditional markets have been extremely volatile. So things can go both ways, but we're actually seeing some strong signs in tech, specifically in the cryptocurrency market, like Coinbase stock doing extremely well, up over 30% in the last 7 business days. And so heading into Friday, then the weekend comes, that's when the markets are the most manipulated. We have to ask ourselves, does Bitcoin have the opportunity to test 40,000 US dollars again, potentially bottom out in the short term here at 33,000, or are we going to be seeing lower prices, right? I think that there's a high likelihood we could see either case, but right now we're seeing a test of 38,000. And as I talked about in our video yesterday and the day before, as long as we held 36,250, which was the previous weekly open, that we were potentially going to see an upside move back above 38,000. And guess what? As we know, here on the Snipers channel, we have the most accurate technical analysis on the internet. Our candle low for yesterday was 36,250 on the dot. And that's not the only time we've been that accurate. Even 2 days before that, the candle low was 38,000, right? So right now, our candle high is 38,222. Wow, I like that 3-digit number behind 38,000, that 222 number, right? And so far, if we go into the 15-minute chart, notice how there's more buy volume than sell volume coming in. And so at this point, we have to ask ourselves, yes, we do have this bearish 15-minute candle here. And this is no surprise because look how far up it wicked to 38,222. So we may see a little bit of a pushback here, but we're testing 38,000. Through the weekend, could we see the $38,000 level break? I think that that's certainly a possibility. And here's what I really want to get out on this video. If we start to see hourly and 4-hour decisive confirmation candles above 38,000, in my opinion, because we've already gotten above this level quite a few times now, the first time we did, it was extremely undecided. And I say that because not only were the 4-hour and hourly candles undecided, but notice how the only daily candle that had a full close above 38,000 was a textbook indecision candle. And so this to me says that the first time we came above 38,000, we were undecided. But if we get up there a second time, let me ask you guys this. Is that a bullish or a bearish bias? In my opinion, it's a bullish bias. And so one more test above 38,000, hourly and 4-hour candle snipers, in my opinion, 41,950 is our first upside target. And the importance of this is now we can have 38,000 as a major support level. And now we can stop talking about price targets below 30,000 as everyone keeps talking about. So that's why I needed to get this update out to you guys on a Friday night, just in case if I go to bed and we see price action above 38,000, you guys know that's the confirmation. We could have a short-term bottom on our hands. And for those that got positions in at 35,000, for those in the Discord group, you know I sent out a signal at 35,000 for Bitcoin as a swing trade, low risk, already hitting 2 targets. Now we have the potential of hitting all 4 targets on that trade. And so it's extremely important right now to monitor what's happening. And I'll tell you this right now on this daily chart, the candle that closed yesterday, pretty bullish candle of a test of the previous weekly open. And we had a nice little bullish tail. So now we're seeing a continuation of this. We did see the initial breakdown candle. And here's one thing to note. Throughout this, let's say, quote unquote, downtrend, every time we've seen these bearish flags, it's been really hard for Bitcoin to form higher highs. Notice how the initial bearish flag formed a high of 44,800 and then a lower high before continuing down. And even before that, you can see it was really hard for Bitcoin to form higher highs. When we first crossed below 50,000, it was really tough for Bitcoin to form higher highs. It continued further down. But this is the first time that we're actually starting to see higher highs form. And so now we have to ask ourselves, maybe this is different. Maybe this right here, of course, the trend is your friend until it's not, right? The trend is your friend until she dumps you, right? These are just plain and simple textbook rules. But at any point in time, especially when an asset like this is extremely oversold, there's always a chance of a short squeeze. And so let's just ask ourselves this. If 38,000 breaks, do you think we're gonna break out of this bearish long-term resistance pattern? And I'm gonna pull up the Bitcoin against money supply chart once again. Look how close we are to this major resistance. And now we're camping out. We're consolidating on the ceiling of this resistance. And we know, like what happened to the 88 to Bitcoin chart, if you guys remember, when you consolidate at a resistance of a channel that has been long trending. Notice how this happened to Cardano at one point. We had a cup of coffee, we tested it one time, and then we started having a cup of coffee until we broke out. Are we gonna be seeing the same pattern here for Bitcoin? That doesn't mean we're not gonna see, further lows later down the road, but right now, are we at least gonna buy ourselves some time to see this move break out of the channel with the Bitcoin against money supply chart, which is basically the Bitcoin against US dollar chart, because this is the first time that we're really having a cup of coffee here. The first time we came up here, we tested it once, we got rejected. We tested it, got rejected. And so this is now very different than our past priced action and schematics, right? We tested it, get rejected. Right now, we've finally gotten enough downside to where Bitcoin isn't just immediately rejecting this level. We're having a cup of coffee here. Does that mean that it's time to at least see a breakout, to potentially even at least come and test these moving averages that are just all coming together here? Really, we're seeing a lot of consolidation around the $44,800 level, or the $49,700 level. Really, that's where the 200 and 100 is sitting. And then, of course, we have the 50 day at 44,800, 41,950. But is it time for us to come towards these moving averages pretty much right below 50,000 US dollars for Bitcoin to at least stall out there versus stalling out here at 37,000, where everyone is like, oh, well, now 30,000 and below is actually on the table? Well, let's see if those people are going to be saying the same thing if Bitcoin gets back above 45,000, right? So that's really the importance of 38,000 right now. I know everyone's saying that there's no chance Bitcoin can hit 40,000 now. I beg to differ. I'm not saying it's going to happen. What I am saying is there's a high likelihood it could happen, especially coming into the weekend where the markets are the most manipulated. Let's continue to monitor traditional markets. It's going to be Friday. We're going to see these markets closed. Remember, very bullish puzzle piece for the DXY, breaking major support. DXY weakening is a great thing. By the way, second test of the 100-day moving average. You knock on the door for a second time. Likelihood that it breaks becomes highly likely. If you see this 100-day break for the DXY, even more bullish for the Bitcoin price. S&P 500 having a cup of coffee now below the 200-day, or I'm sorry, above the 200-day and below the 100-day. That's totally where we want price action right now versus being below the 200-day. I don't know if we're going to break below that 200-day coming into the close for Friday when futures are up 1.15%. We'll have to see here with the S&P 500, but so far it looks like we can at least get a nice close into the weekend, staying above that 200-day moving average, the S&P 500. The likelihood Bitcoin can move up above 38,000 with decisiveness, with those hourly and 4-hour confirmations, as we always look for here on the Cypress channel, is highly likely. And with that, thank you all for tuning into the Cypress channel today. I'm gonna drop the mic. Snipers out.